A very good Thursday morning to everyone out there. Baby Friday, as I like to refer to it as. Landon here with you to bring you your weather and weather forecast courtesy of Ohio Valley Insurance. Folks, the heat is on, in the words of Glenn Frey. That's what we're in store for today, with high pressure shifting just east of the area. It's going to be turning those winds out of the south and west. We're going to be looking at this oppressive heat and humidity trying to arrive in here today, really crank up tomorrow. Might catch a day or two of relief there in the Saturday time frame, but Sunday on into the early days of next week, we're going to be right back into the midst of it. As previously mentioned, folks, high pressure's in control. That's helped to allow for the winds to subside to an extent overnight. That, combining with clear skies, has resulted in some dense fog formation across the region. We got the dense fog visible here overlooking the Beechtree News Sky Cam off to the north and west from Morgantown. Be aware of that before you head out on the morning commute. But take a look a little bit further south here over Bowling Green. The White Squirrel Weather Nest Cam is showing nothing but crystal clear blue skies. This is pretty much going to be the name of the weather game throughout the entirety of today. But again, folks, it is going to get hotter and more humid. It still feels all right out there, currently speaking. We got readings anywhere between the mid and upper 50s. Dew points right around the same vicinity. Highs this afternoon, we're going to take those all the way up to near the 90-degree mark. We're going to throw dew points up to around the low to mid 60s. It's going to get rather uncomfortable in the great outdoors. That's just the way it is. And folks, we even got hotter, more humid conditions that's going to follow suit as we work into tomorrow, all right? Again, here's a look at the surface map. Areas of high pressure is keeping this activity off to the north and west at bay. That's going to remain up there towards the Midwest, stretching out over to the Great Plains. But the lower Ohio Valley is going to stay dry as a bone today. But as we shift gears and get into Friday, this week cold front is going to sag down near our vicinity. That may result in a few hit and miss storm chances for us, all right? So let's jump in here to the latest guidance and let's talk about it. We work throughout today. We get into tomorrow. That upper ridge continues to have a death grip right here on the south central U.S. We got these little short waves. We've been talking about this all week, folks. That's going to ride right along the periphery of this ridge by the time we work into our Friday afternoon and evening, and this is how the surface map will appear. Again, folks, this is the identical map. I'm aware of what we've been looking at this week. This week, cold front's going to sag down near our vicinity and slowly pass through. We could have some isolated storms that develop right along and ahead of that boundary Friday afternoon into the early part of Friday evening, all right? But after we lose out on that and that gets through here, we're going to look at a return of that heat and humidity throughout the weekend. And let's take a look at the comparison of what these dew points are going to do and how they are going to behave. Again, this morning, upper 50s to right around the 60-degree mark. We're staying comfortable. But as we work through this afternoon and then we get into right around the mid-60 range, so it's not going to be as pleasant. But just wait, folks, because take a look as we get into our Friday. Look at these dew points surging all the way up between the low and mid-70s. Folks, we're forecasting highs tomorrow right around the mid-90s. That, in tandem with this, if we don't get in on any storms, we could be pushing heat indices right around the 100-degree mark. So again, folks, be aware of that. You will blatantly note where the drier air is infiltrating out of the north and east. This is going to be where the cold front is going to try and pass through here Friday night on into our Saturday. All right, so we're going to look at a few degree cooler temperatures in the Saturday time frame, bringing dew points down to the upper 50s to lower 60s. That's going to be quite nice for us throughout the first day of the weekend. But folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but look after Saturday. This massive upper level ridge guidance continues to hint at setting up shop right across the southeast and really not budging much at all throughout the vast majority of next week. All right, it's keeping this trough at bay, so all these weather makers that'll be riding out of this trough are simply going to remain to the north and west of the region. This is going to be more of a summer-like pattern Monday into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, folks. So along with the oppressive heat and humidity, apologies there for hitting the trackpad, we're going to be looking at the pop-up storm chances each afternoon, all right? So as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, the heat and humidity is going to be so great, we can have these pulse-like storms that build up and then collapse on themselves during the early days of next week. So the bad news is, folks, out of that, we pretty much don't have any rainfall in the forecast. Now, it is worth mentioning that the latest rainfall outlook here over the next week is going to be next to nothing, maybe squeezing out a few tenths of an inch here and there. And the best opportunity is with the isolated convection with a cold front tomorrow, and then during the early days of next week with those pulse-like isolated pop-up storm chances during the afternoon and evening. Now, folks, we're going to be keeping close eyes on this here over the next couple of weeks with our pattern looking rather dry. But right now, we have no drought conditions whatsoever. Mark it on your calendar as of June 13th. Hopefully, we can get a little bit more rain in here to keep an equilibrium here with the latest drought monitor as well. Here's a full breakdown of your next 5-day weather forecast. We got loads of sunshine on the docket today. A combination with southwesterly winds send highs to the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. Hotter and more humid on Friday, folks. It says 90. Some of us might even creep upwards towards the 95-degree mark, I think is a definite possibility. Isolated storm chance throughout the afternoon. Saturday, a brief reprieve from the action with those lower dew points and lower humidity. And then we're going to jolt highs between the mid and upper 90s come Sunday. Dew points returning back to around the 70-degree mark. Sunday is going to be pretty awful in the weather condition category, at least for me. I'm not a fan of the blatant heat and humidity that summer tends to bring. Pop-up storm chances Monday into Tuesday of next week with highs locked right in between the low and mid-90s. That'll do it for your Thursday morning weather not forecast presented by Ohio Valley Insurance. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a tremendous next to final day of the work week.